Have Mike. He's one of the hardest working guys I've met in football. Passionate, has a real desire, I think, to help us build our team back. And I've really enjoyed every day. The process has been very exciting. There's a lot of dialogue going on, and the collaboration, I think, is off to a really good start.
A lot has been made about how much authority he'll actually have in the war room. Have you guys discussed that at all?
I don't know what's been made of what. I could care less. He's going to call a lot of the shots, obviously. We're going to work hand in hand together. We're working very hard to see things clearly, and I'm sure there's going to be some disagreements, but he's going to have plenty of authority to make the calls that are necessary for the Raiders. Yeah, well, we did last year. We made a lot of trades during the draft last year. We realized that we've got a lot of free agent players right now. We've got a lot of needs on our team, and we have picks. And with that being said, there's a lot of possibilities. So we'll see how it all unfolds. Yeah, I like it. I like Sweat, obviously, at Mississippi State. Ferguson from La Tech is very impressive. There's a lot of guys. We have a couple guys on our team. Collier out of TCU. There's a lot of guys that are going to get a real opportunity, I think, to help themselves in this camp. We got a kid out of Boston College, Zach Allen, I believe, that I like a lot. He wears number 2. He's easy to find on the Boston College film. So those guys always get a chance to move up the board in Mobile. Well, it's just been great to spend time with players on both teams. You know, you might eliminate 4 or 5 players from your thought process. Sometimes that's just as valuable as moving 4 or 5 guys up on your board. But you get a chance to see them behind the scenes, who really loves it, who really learns it, and who can really execute a lot of football that you're putting in a short period of time. So it'll be very beneficial to us.
Can you speak on the advantage that you and Kyle Shanahan have over the other 30 coaches being able to be hands-on with these players?
Well, this is the 4th time that I've coached it. And it is an advantage, I think, because the pool of players every year is what it is. Sometimes it's a deeper pool. Sometimes it's not quite as deep. But you're going to get to learn 100 players and get some hands-on information that you couldn't get if you weren't coaching the game. So we've drafted players from this game before, and I'm sure we'll do that again.
With all the draft picks you guys have, you said you want to build this team up the Raider way. What exactly is that?
Is that what I said? The Raider way? Look, we got a long way to go to get back to where we need to be. Obviously, the Kansas City Chiefs are in the Final Four. The Chargers advanced in the playoffs. We got to match up with our opponents better, and that's on both sides of the ball. So we got to get bigger, we got to get faster, and we got to get better, and that's the Raider way.
What was the hardest part of the reset?
Obviously, there was a lot of hard parts. You know, we struggled to win games. That was hard. It's not easy to lose, and I think that's the hardest part of this reset. It's also exciting to have an opportunity to work with a group of guys that are fully committed to bringing the Raiders back. How valuable is what? I used to think that a lot until I saw Drew Brees twice a year in Tampa, and then I met Russell Wilson coming out of NC State, and now I'm watching this kid Murray at Oklahoma, and I am putting away all the prototypes that I once had. You know, I used to have a prototype for hand size, height, arm length, all that stuff. We're looking for guys that can play and do a lot of different things, and they come in all shapes and sizes nowadays.
John, any early assessments on a couple of the quarterbacks here, like Jones and Greer specifically?
Yeah, well, I've got 4 on our team that I'm focusing on, and Drew Lock is a talented, quick-armed customer at Missouri. I like Finley at NC State. I like his tape. Got a lot of production. Daniel Jones is going to be a first-round pick out of Duke. Been well-schooled. And we got McSorley, not a big quarterback, but a tough guy. Got a lot of Rich Gannon, Jeff Garcia in him. Bulldog fighter-type quarterback. And I'll become more and more familiar with the South quarterbacks. I did meet with Will Greer last night, and I'm impressed with him.
What about the guys protecting those quarterbacks on the North team? Any guys impress you on tape?
Well, we're going to have our hands full. I will say this. We've got some really good centers. I like Bradbury. I like his makeup. The center from North Carolina State is impressive. We have a couple mysterious linemen that have had issues with injuries and whatnot, but we'll find out more about them in the coming days.
Coach, the Senior Bowl is considered one of the biggest job interviews a player can face. What has been your message to the players to really put that in perspective?
Just be yourself, number one. Try not to be scripted. They're here for a reason. These guys had great college careers. They were selected by a panel of people here in Mobile that have done a phenomenal job over the years bringing in the right kind of guys. These guys love football. They're productive players. I encourage them to be themselves. Just try to make themselves available to every team. Try not to be a grouch, when you're doing these interviews, even though they're asking you the same question over and over and over. You got to treat each interview individually, have some fun with this, and be yourself.
What kind of things do you want to see out of Drew Lock?
Well, I want to see him handle some different types of offense. Underneath the center, in the shotgun, in the no-huddle offense. I want to see him communicate. A lot of these colleges, they use a silent count. They don't get in the huddle. So the communication, the recognition of the defense, and then the execution is what I'm after. And I'd like to see him do that at a very, very high level because that's what the top picks have to do. Don't know yet. I don't think anybody expected Mahomes to throw for 60 touchdown passes or Deshaun Watson to walk in as a rookie and tear it up. Nobody really expected that, I don't believe. But with Murray coming out, with the men that you'll get a chance to see here in the next couple days, that question will be answered shortly.
Jon, Steve Reese a few weeks ago said that he looked back at his 2006 playbook with Sean Payton and couldn't believe how much the game had evolved since then. Did you find that coming back in the league?
Yeah, a little bit. There's not any split safety coverages anymore. You don't see a lot of that stuff. The RPOs has come into the NFL. It certainly has changed. But I think Drew will tell you there's still some concepts that were good in 2006 that are still good today.
Jon, you alluded to breaking the prototypes for certain positions. What's been the biggest difference since you came back to being a coach scouting?
Obviously the offenses that you're watching, the quarterbacks are doing different things. They're all in a no-huddle offense. They're all in the shotgun all the time. And a lot of the information comes from the sidelines. You see them looking to the sideline to get the information. So those are the biggest changes, I think.
What are the impressions of Isabella and the other receivers on your roster?
Isabella, I like Isabella. How do you not like Isabella? I like this Penny Hart we got from Georgia State, too. But we're going to try to keep those two men in the slot this week. Not exclusively, but we're going to try to look at those two guys in the slot, and we'll see. We got some intriguing big receivers that I don't know a whole lot about yet, but they did seem to learn quickly, and they do seem to have some talent.
Jon, you saw the end of the Saints Rams. Do you think the NFL will make passing interference?
I don't know. I talked to Sean Payton yesterday. It's a disappointing way to lose a game, but I don't know. I don't know what the ramifications of that are going to be. We all saw it. We all know there will be some action taken, I'm sure.
Jon, you called Gary Bradbury impressive. Do you see him as only a center at the next level, or is he versatile enough to move across the line?
Well, I just got here. I haven't coached him one day yet, really, except for the meetings, but I see him as a center. I see the man as a natural center. He's got communication. He's got command. He's got athleticism, and I know he's got some guard in his background, and for that reason, I think he's going to help himself here because he can play three positions. I don't know Coach Kingsbury. I do know this. He knows how to move the football. If I was Rosen, I'd be excited. He's a gunslinger. Kingsbury was a heck of a quarterback himself, but I'm sure he'll energize Rosen and the offense, I'd be surprised if he didn't.
John, what position is the easiest to make the jump from the small school to the NFL?
I don't know if it's easy at any position. I've seen it done across the board, but I'm not going to say it's easy. It's tough. I went to a small college, and it's hard to make the adjustment as a coach from a small college to the NFL.
In this game, they should be moving light this week in regards to what you're seeing, in regards to what you're seeing on the field. That's going to take place after this event.
Yeah, we meet after every practice. He's in the meetings with us. So, it's exciting to have a guy that for a long time that has very, very similar energy and passion and enthusiasm for what we're trying to do here. And there's a lot of common ground that we share. But we collaborate after every single day.
Has he said what the biggest challenge has been for him to respectfully move from a TV GM to an NFL GM?
No, I mean, he's going to learn quick. He's a quick study. He's been in every building. He came and visited me when I was coaching Tampa Bay and Oakland in the past. So he's been in every building in the league. That doesn't mean he has a whole lot of experience as a GM, but, if you know Mayock, he's going to be a quick study. And I saw him talking to Ozzie Newsome last night. So he's always on a mission to get better and improve himself in the Raiders.
What's the quarterback trait that if the quarterback doesn't have, it's just a non-starter for you? Like, what is the thing you have to see in somebody before you even get your
Well, the talent. You have to be able to make the throws. You have to have some mobility, and you have to have the intelligence. So athleticism, arm talent, intelligence. If you don't have those three things, this is not the league for you. And really everybody in the NFL and major college football has some arm talent and some intelligence and some athleticism. But how much? And that's one of the things that the good scouts do. They determine that.
John, how much stock do you put into this game? I know it's just a one-on-one job for those players. It's not like a big. How much stock do you value in terms of these players' performances Saturday?
I think across the league, I think everybody will tell you they look at the Senior Bowl practice tape, the Senior Bowl game film over and over and over. And they watch the matchups. You watch this left guard against that right defensive tackle over and over and over. I remember sitting here with Al Davis. We did that. He'd put the Senior Bowl on for the 44th time. I would say, how many more times are we going to watch that game? But it's a tremendous value, great tool, because you see one-on-one matchups that you'd never see if you didn't come and watch this.
John, why did you feel the need to reach out to Sean yesterday? You mentioned him. Can you sort of sympathize?
Oh, no, I'm not going to get into what we talked about. Sean and I worked together a long time ago. I was involved in a game, in a playoff game that ended in quite dramatic fashion, and so is he now. So he and I have a couple hot dogs and a couple glasses of Coke here and talk about things in the future, I'm sure.
Do you ever get over a loss like that?
No, I don't think so. I mean, if you really want to dwell on it, you don't ever get over that. It's the last time that team will ever be together. It'll never be the same. Those guys fought as long and hard as they could, and it'll sting forever.
Friday of Senior Bowl week, coaching staff usually switch and get some time with the team that you're not coaching, meeting time and so forth. How valuable is it to get some time with the others live?
That's very valuable. Kyle Shanahan's a good friend of mine. I've been sneaking into his meeting rooms trying to meet his players already. But we're going to work together, the North and the South, the 49ers, the Raider coaching staffs. We're going to, I think, really go out of our ways to help each other get some time with each of these players. Because it's all about the players. It's not about the coaches.
John, in terms of playbook, how much is going to be out there? Is it scaled back? Is it RPG?
Well, there's a limitation on what you can do, thank God, because Kyle would have every play and formation known to man. But you got to be in a 2-by-2 formation, 2 receivers over here, 2 receivers over there, no trips, no motions, no shifts. So it's restricted. But we did try to put some volume in, some 3-step drops, 5-step drops, play action, move the pocket to stimulate everybody.
John, when a guy like Mahomes shows up in your division, is there any thought of we're going to need a star like that if we're going to
Well, when
win the team?
Mahomes shows up, the only thought that pops into your mind is resignation, really. I can't get over how he performed, you know, in bad weather, good weather, in adversity as a first-year starter. I can't get over it. I think it's one of the great accomplishments I've ever seen. But I was just kidding about resignation. We got to match up better. We got to improve our coverage. We got to improve our underneath coverage. We got to deal with Kelsey and Tyreek Hill, and we got to deal with a lot of problems that they present other than Mahomes. And when they get a lead, they have the pass rush that can close you out with D Ford, Justin Houston, and Chris Jones. So we got to deal with that as well. But anyways, we got a long way to go to get there. But yes, we got to do a better job matching up with Mahomes and the Chiefs.
How big of an opportunity is this? He asked you about the small schools earlier, but these guys, you guys get to see them against Power 5, against other elite players. How big a deal is this? How big an opportunity is this?
It's huge. I think it's huge. You know, I think Carson Wentz proved a couple years ago it doesn't matter, you know, where you come from. You know, there's been a lot of obscure schools represented here that, you know, I think these guys have a chip on their shoulder, some of them. They want this. This is the only chance they can get to prove that they belong with the big boys. So keep an eye on a lot of these schools that aren't your Power 5 conferences. I have not really touched cross paths with him, but I'm sure, knowing his background, I'm sure he's more than ready for this opportunity.
John, after a decade away, was there one moment where you said to yourself, this is where the game is going to change?
No, I don't think it really has. You're still managing people. You know, you're still teaching. You're still motivating. It's about people. You know, it's about people. You win with people, and you got to acquire the right guys on your staff and on your team. And you have to really work through the new collective bargaining agreement. I think that's what's most different. The preparation is a lot different. Practices, training camp, off-season programs are dramatically different. So you got to really take advantage of the time that you do have as you develop your team and your system of football. That was tough. You know, you're making decisions on your roster on players that you never met. You know, some of them are obviously salary cap related that you have no choice with. But, you know, how would you like to make a decision on a man's future when you can't even talk to him? I don't understand that, but sorry about that. Anybody else? Well, here's an announcement for you. Brian Callahan's no longer with us. He's going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals. I believe he's going to be the offensive coordinator of the Bengals. And I'm really proud of him, happy for this opportunity. So we're shorthanded right now. We've lost a lot of quarterback guys over the years, and they've all gone on. A lot of them have done great things, and I'm sure Brian will do the same. I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going to happen right now. We're just getting ready for practice.
Speak about Mahomes. It's obvious that everyone thinks off the rest of the plays he can make. Value in placing a quarterback that can do things when it breaks down.
That's unbelievable. You got to defend two plays. You know, Andy Reid's a heck of a coach. He calls some good plays, but they don't always work. And when he calls a play that is covered and there's nothing there, there's just nothing there, and he gets a 28-yard gain or a touchdown out of it, it's sickening, isn't it? It's maddening to people that aren't fans of the Chiefs. So I think everybody's looking for the dual threat. You know, obviously Tom Brady's made a living doing it a different way, and but Mahomes he's on a cutting edge of different, that's for sure.
Time for two more, guys. Two more.
Yeah, you know, Zach was on our team in Tampa and has a lot of obviously close relationships with Mike Sherman. I believe he married Mike's daughter. And Mike Sherman's a good friend of mine, I think a great coach. But the kid grew up as a very good quarterback, as a Cornhusker. He grew up in a football family. He's been well trained in the NFL, and I'm really excited to see what he does in Cincinnati. Well, he's the same guy he was then as he is now. I mean, he's really relates to players well. Loves to be in the building a lot and study. He's one of those guys that does the preparation, but has a unique way of presenting the information, where the players look forward to coming in and they believe and trust in him. But he's an energetic, enthusiastic, great guy, and I'm really thrilled for him. All right.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay, guys. Have a good day. I'll see you out here.